Hi there, my name is Sue, and this is the Cables, Lace, and Tails podcast. Welcome to my channel. I plan to follow the traditional podcast format with finished objects, whips, and acquisitions with tales sprinkled throughout. I believe in learning by doing and seeing a mistake as a small stepping stone to mastering a technique. Case in point, this is my third time recording this episode. This is episode 1. I hope to have many because I really miss talking about my knitting and crochet. I also sew, embroidery. I like all the traditional handicrafts, including cooking and baking and gardening. I used to belong to a knitting group before 2020, one at a library and one at a senior center. It was a lot of fun. We got to talk about our yarn, we got to talk about patterns, we got to talk about new techniques. If I had a question, there was always someone with more wisdom than me that could teach me the skill, because I am self-taught. I learned through YouTube University. Thank you, YouTube, and all of the creators that I follow. Shouts out to all of you here and there, because without you, I would not know a lot, and I appreciate everything that I have been given. So here we are talking about yarn. Yes, so 8 years ago, I taught myself. I made scarves, a lot of scarves, and every time I am bored or wanting to make something, like I wanted to make my own socks because commercial socks cut my circulation off on my feet, and that's no fun. I want to make beautiful colorwork sweaters, so I'm teaching myself how to do colorwork. I am an English knitter, so I'm trying to teach myself to continental, but I roll out so bad that I don't really do it when other than dishcloths or a shawl or something that it doesn't really matter because I'm not wearing it on my body. So I'm going to show a few finished objects each time because I have so many in the wings waiting to be talked about, and I really miss talking about my knitting. I really do. And I try to talk to people in my own life about it, and they kind of glaze over and they're like, oh, here she goes again. Yeah, I don't know anything about knitting and I don't want to. So here I am. Okay, so my first finished object I'm going to show you. I wear this every day. I work at a school, and I do recess duty amongst other things. I'm an educational assistant, and today it was really cold. I'm looking outside. My windows are directly in front of me. The wind is whipping. I live in northwestern Wisconsin, and the playground that I work on is like a windswept prairie. There aren't many trees nearby, and it's backed by a lot of soccer fields, and the wind just whips around. And I was really thankful to have this beautiful cowl. Oh, it's gorgeous. I could just sit and look at it all day. Now, it's called the Mosaic Diamond Cowl. I got it out of Knit Picks pattern book. The yarn is also from Knit Picks. It is palette yarn. This book was $5. It's the last time I checked their website, which was about a week or so ago, it was still $5. It's a pretty good book. It has a lot of patterns, and this cowl ends on it's a 40-row repeat, and I chose to do it twice, and then you could either end on row 1 or row 21, and I chose 21. It is warm, it is woolly, it smells good. It just makes me so happy. I wear my grandma scarf, which I have it right here. It's one of those little thin ones. My grandma always used to wear scarves like that. She was a very smart lady. Keeps your neck warm. I have a whiplash accident that I experienced about 30 years ago. So having my grandma's scarf, a regular scarf, and this over all of that keeps me so nice and toasty. And all my coworkers are like, oh man, it's cold out here. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of nice. It's not bad at all. You guys should wear wool. Oh, we can't do wool. And I'm like, yeah, you probably could. You just have, synthetics on the brain. Anyway, what can I tell you? The yarn is palette, like I said. It used 2 different colors. My main color was Pool. Turn it upside down. My main color is Pool, and each 50-gram ball has 231 yards, and I used almost all of it. There's only a little bit left. And my other one was Orange, and it is about halfway gone. It was a lovely pattern, easy to follow. It was nice because it gave me the color work chart and the written instructions. Because I'm teaching myself how to do color work, I thought, well, this is a nice introductory pattern. In fact, it said so right in the instructions. This is a nice introductory pattern because you only hold 1 yarn at a time. At the time, I didn't even know what mosaic knitting was. I thought it was just the name of the cowl. I learned from Casey from Young Folks Knits in her mosaic knitting along. That is a true technique. I'm still learning. Who isn't? So I love it. It's wonderful. And my second finished object that I am going to showcase is this Dickie that I made. It's in 2 pieces, and then you sew up the sides. So you sew up the sides and the neck. You can't even see the I'm looking at my cat. She's trying to steal my yarn again. She's a yarn thief. So she's a yarn thief. So I made this. I said to my daughter, this is gonna be for me. I know she she just jiggle-jaggled my camera setup. So I knew she wouldn't want to wear this unless I said, this is for me. I'm going to wear this. I'm making this for me. So I made it in one of her favorite colors, cream. It goes with all of her winter gear. And then one day I said, you know, it's cold outside. You should wear something around your neck. And she was like, I don't want to. I'm a teenager. And I'm like, come on. Do you want to wear my cowl that I made? It's nice. Do you want to try it? Okay, fine. And now she wears it all the time because we live, like I said, in northwestern Wisconsin, and it is cold. And you can wear it up, you can wear it down. I got it out of this pattern book that I got from my mother-in-law. I don't even know if they still make this pattern book. It was a very simple project. It's called Dickie. It's a men's, all it is men's sweaters. And yeah, it was very simple. I'm glad I made it. I would make it again. It's a very simple project. I used Lion Brand Wool Ease worsted weight wool. I'm not taking it out of the package because I want to keep it nice. And I have cats. So, very nice. I think it's called Fisherman. It has a nice little ribbing, garter stitches around the side here. I love it. It's very nice. The ribbing makes it nice and easy to go around the neck. I did tie a piece of contrasting yarn so I would know the back and so she would know the back. Yeah, I would make it again. Definitely. And then, let's see. Sorry. I'm like, now what should I talk about? I'm going to talk about my works in progress. Now, I have on average 15 to 20 projects going at once. I take really good notes. I get bored. I also like to have things that are really require a lot of thought and some that don't require any thought. I want to learn something new and I just want to do it all so bad all the time. However, as of, I would say late August, I started making dishcloths. I need to make 70 by Christmas break, which is happening in a few weeks. And I give my coworkers a dishcloth each, and I think I need about 53 for that. I'm not 100% sure, but I've like made a list, counted, it is about 53. If I have extra made, then I can bring them with. And if I find that I've forgotten someone or they're only there once in a while, I can still give them a nice little gift. I wrap it up, tie it, I put a little note on there, and then I put a candy cane inside. It's just a nice, sweet gift to give. I also give my daughter's teachers a dishcloth as well, and then I made a hostess gift. So I believe I needed 65 altogether from what I, figured out. But if I make an extra 5, then I will have extra to play with or give away or use myself. I do basic patterns. I have some here. I just did, the diamond one. It's really pretty. I love this yarn. I just use Peaches and Cream from Walmart. It's $1.97 for a small ball. You can buy cones as well, which I have, but I get really bored of the same colors. Can you tell? I don't know if I have ADHD. Don't really care. I like variety. That's what I call it, the variety. I'm over a half a century. They didn't have ADHD when I was growing up. It was just, find something to do. So here's another pattern. I just kind of made this one up off the cuff. It's very simple. Garter stitch for 6 rows. And then I do this stockinette stitch can be 5, 7, 11, 9. 9 is weird because I tried 9 and it made it really short. The dishcloth was really wide and long, and I didn't really like that, to have a nice even repeat. So I do a garter stitch edge to keep it from, cinching in. And the 5 and 7 and 11, I like those. So that's what I do. And I am teaching myself continental on this. Like I said, it doesn't matter because it's a dishcloth and you're just going to wash it, dry it, be done with it. One other pattern I have, which I do really enjoy, but I got kind of bored of it because I did it so much in the past. So you just sew this up, you cinch in the center, sew up the edge, and then voila, nice dishcloth. This makes a nice pretty package, because it looks like a little flower. Oh. So my coworkers like them. Some are really happy to receive them. I have mended fences with dishcloth giving. A particular teacher who is just a year younger than I am how can I put this? She would let go of all her frustration on me. I don't know. Sometimes people tell me a lot. I was a bartender for a long time, and people always told me things, and I'm like, I don't really want to know all your deep, dark secrets. But this particular teacher, she was frustrated with life. It happens. And sometimes you feel like you need to vent it out on somebody. And so I was an easy recipient. And I keep, I'm kind of like a Labrador. I have a lab. She's laying down right next to me. You might hear her snoring over here. But, I thought, geez, a long time ago, I was only giving them to certain people because I started so late, like in November, and I could only give so many. And I was working with some of the other grade teachers in that grade. And I thought, well, I'm just going to give her one. I don't work with her, but it would be rude to give the other second grade teachers a gift and not her. So I just gave it to her, and it broke the ice. It mended whatever frustrations there were. And, I just want to help others. Maybe this is why I started the podcast. I don't really know. Maybe you'll learn that even if you make a mistake, you can fix it. Or if you make a mistake, maybe just put it into the pattern, which is what one lady at my knitting group told me. I made a mistake. I was making my first sweater, and it was a baby sweater. I'll show that at a different time. because there's a nice story attached to it. But I made a mistake in it. And I said, oh no, Anne, I did it wrong. And she goes, that's fine. Just make it part of the pattern. And I went, oh, you can do that. You can just make it part of the pattern. I'm going to do that. I don't have to rip it out and figure it out. I can just make it part of the pattern. So mending fences, helping others is all part of my pattern because happiness grows from being happy. Or so they say. So, anywho. All right, so I'm making dishcloths. As of today, I have finished 67. I'm on 68. I cannot wait to have it done. I have 3 more to finish, and then I will tie in all the ends, give them a quick wash, dry them, wrap them in their little thing, and voila. Give them to the teachers so they can have something to brighten their days with. One of the kitchen ladies I gave one to, I gave her one of the flowery ones. And she says she puts it on her table and she puts her stuff, like, sugar, salt, pepper shakers, whatever, on it. And I thought, that's what it's all about. It's about bringing joy to others. I find working with my hands calms all the chaos in my mind. I need to work with my hands. That's why I'm most happy working with my hands in things like baking, cooking, gardening, knitting, crochet, sewing, and recently, this is going to be my other thing that I'm going to show. I'm going to see if I can find it. Recently, I have been noticing that my boots that I wear for school, which are easy slip-on, slip-off, cheap boots I got from Farm and Fleet, are getting cold on my toes. And I don't want to be cold. I hate being cold. I frostbit my feet when I was a teenager because, stupidity. And I need to have warm toes. So I also wear orthopedic inserts, just the stuff that you can buy at the store, for my plantar fasciitis because I have stood for a very long time. So years ago, I got this book. I'm kind of sprinkling the acquisitions throughout because I don't want to really show anything that I got recently because it's been too far back. But I bought this book a long time ago, How to Knit in the Woods. Here's what I do. I go to the library, I look at their pattern books, I say, I like that one. Then I look on thrift books or Amazon. Those are my 2 favorites. And then I got this one off of thrift books. And inside they have a pattern for, it's called Cloudwalker Padded Shoe Inserts. The picture that they show, which is, I'm going to be frank, it's really fuzzy, and it gives you kind of the shape of it. But if you really look at it, it's not knitted like the pattern from bottom up. It's knitted from side to side. The pattern's okay. So the first time I made it, the ladies at that knitting group were like, oh, you should have made the small. They want you to felt it. I'm like, but the pattern doesn't say that. The pattern says at the very end, weave in ends, put in your shoes. There's no felt, there's no nothing. So they said, you better make the large size because you're going to felt them and then you won't be able to use them if you make the smaller size. So I made the larger size and they were like, they're just enormous. I have them somewhere and I was trying to find them for this winter. I thought, well, maybe I could felt them, figure something out. I've never felt it before. It's on my bucket list. So then I couldn't find them. I packed them away somewhere and I don't remember where I put them. And I've looked in all the places I thought they were, but I did not. So last night, well, 2 nights ago, I'm sick of dishcloths. So sick of dishcloths. Sick of dishcloths, and I thought, I really need those inserts. I can't find them. I should just make some. So I started with the small size, but I remember from the other one that it grew so long. I mean, these do stretch, so there is some give to them. It's all garter stitch. So I thought, I I don't know. I don't want to really follow the pattern as in how many rows, but I followed the pattern and I adjusted the rows. So I measured it constantly to my foot. I would lay it on the floor and I would put my foot on there and I would say, all right, well, I'm at this point in the pattern. I need to figure stuff out. So I took notes, those are all my tally marks, and I figured it all out. And then I rewrote it this morning. So you can see, I did start off the pattern the same as what it's written. And I think I'm on like row 6. Just started the second one. So the yarn I'm using is leftover sock yarn. This is a discontinued yarn. It's from the Lion brand Mani Petty. I like it. It has its good and bad points. They're both superwash yarns. This is Patons sock yarn, superwash. But I had leftovers from each, and the pattern requires sport weight. And I didn't want to get my sport weight yarn out. I didn't want to use any of my sport weight yarn because I have some ideas for that sport weight yarn and I only have so much. So I thought, well, why can't I just put 2 fingerings together and get something similar? I did not do a gauge swatch on these because I didn't want to, and it's going in my shoe. So I just measured. Now, I don't really like the tip. I should have made something over here longer. I don't think I'm going to do that with my other one either. I just kind of want them. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will make something else longer. But this goes in the top part of the shoe, and it really doesn't bother me because I've tried these into my shoe, put my insert on top of them, and it was so nice. I'm like, oh, my wool socks and my wool inserts, and I'm going to be out on the playground, and I'm going to be standing there, and, it's going to be nice and warm when the wind is blustery, and it's going to be so nice. So I'm excited. You don't know how happy I was last night. I finished these, weaved in the ends, put it in my boot, tried them out, and I thought, it worked. I'm so happy. I went to bed with the sense of accomplishment. Modifications. I love it. So I'm going to finish the other one lickety split because I didn't have them today and my feet were starting to get cold. I'm outside for about, let's see. I'm outside for about, I want to say 45, 50 minutes. It's not that long, but if you're not moving around constantly, because you have to maintain an eye of everyone. I take care of anywhere from, I would say, 40 to 90, 120 kids at once. Sometimes I have help with the higher numbers, but if it's 50 kids or less, then I'm out there by myself. I've done this job for 7 years. It doesn't bother me. I love it. It's fun. It's enjoyable. And so I think that's about it for today. I have talked for about 25 minutes. It's pretty good. I got my new setup. It's a little nicer than my other setup that I had on my second video. I plan to talk about this sweater next time. I heavily modified it. It deserves its own episode. I thought about talking about it today, and I thought, no, it definitely deserves its own episode. I'm hoping to be done with all of those dishcloths the next time we talk. And thank you for coming. I really appreciate this. I'm learning by doing. Who knows where this may lead? I just really miss talking about my yarn. I really miss talking about how I would find good sales. Like the Knit Picks palette that I got was probably on sale for $2. Early November, they have a 72-hour sale and they sell things for $2, $4, and $6. I always look at the $2 aspect because, budget conscious. You have to have a budget because such is life. But that's how I acquire yarn, through sales. Sometimes Joann's has a really good option. I got quite a bit of cotton poly yarn last year for 80 cents a skein. 80 cents a skein. So I cannot wait to start this again, to see how this all works. Learning by doing. I hope to have a better setup sometime. Right now, I don't even have a mic. I have been looking online. That itself is a lot of learning because there is just so much. Do you get a kit for podcasting when you don't even know if this is going to be a viable thing? Do you do it just for fun? Some people do it for fun and they become huge successes. And I talk about them like they're my besties. Hey, did you see what was on Retro Claude or Engineering Knits or Young Folk Knits? I don't have anyone in my circle that cares about this stuff. So thank you again. My kitty's right here. Oh, I'm one of the yarn thieves. My name is Talulla. Mama says no, and I say, I can't help myself. She's so cute. When she steals my yarn balls, she chirps like she killed something. Oh, she's such a pretty girl. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content, please hit the like button. And if you so choose, hit subscribe, and I will be back with another podcast. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have fun.